Okay, so hey internet and hello my wolf pack. I know that nobody's gonna comment who they want me to do next, so I'm going to go ahead and make the decision on my own and attempt to do this on my own. I'm gonna see if I can find anything that I saved. Nope. So I'm gonna have to do a new game. And yeah. What's your name? My name is Alyssiana.
A lovely
Eric.
name. For a lovely person like you. Wonderful. Eric, do your job. Very well. This...
Okay.
Fine. Be lame. Alright, now that we've...
Okay, so I'm going to be doing James' route. To put it briefly, I just moved in today.
That explains the luggage you brought in when you came through the front doors. By the way, we put your belongings in the room you were sleeping in. That seems to be the master bedroom, I believe.
Thanks, this house is really big. I don't think I even explored the entirety of this estate when I was a child.
You lived here before?
No, truth be told, was my grandfather's house. I used to visit him all the time when I was younger.
May I ask why you now live in your grandfather's house?
He actually passed away yesterday. It was bequeathed to me in his will, and I was sent to live here whether I liked it or not.
My condolences. It seems like you don't like the idea of living here.
It's not that I don't like this house, or don't have fond memories of being here. It's just the implications that come with staying at this estate. It's sort of complicated to explain.
How do you feel about it?
I certainly wasn't expecting that question, but it was a nice surprise. It was different from what I had heard the entire day at school. I appreciated the fact that he was willing to listen. I feel angry, sad, scared, and confused. It's hard picking out the different emotions that I'm feeling right now. I wish I was stronger.
You don't have to be strong.
What do you mean?
I understand that you're going through a difficult time, so it's okay to feel those emotions. You don't have to be strong at all.
Thank you.
Are you alright? There seems to be a small bruise on your cheek.
I'd completely forgotten about my cheek, but even if I remembered, I thought no one would have noticed something as small as that. Oh, I'm fine. He stopped and leaned in close, a bit too close for comfort, inspecting my face. He was really quite tall, having to bend over quite a bit just to look at my face. It was hard to look at him, especially when he was so close. After a few seconds, he straightened up and began walking again.
Well, if you're having any problems, I'm always here to listen.
That's really kind of you to offer.
My pleasure. Here's your seat. Let me get your chair for you, lovely lady.
Eric. Oh,
But
be cool. I couldn't hold in my laughter anymore. As I laughed, Matthew and Sam looked my way, faces stuffed.
Is something funny? What are you laughing at?
I messed up. I stopped to catch my breath. I leaned over the table and took a few breaths before replying. You both are so funny.
Shut up! We're not funny. We're hungry. Well, we're... Shut up, man! What? See, James, it's entertainment for her.
Sorry, I really like her ringtone.
Hey,
Shut the fuck up, Mom. You turn the day. Okay, I'll stop. Oopies. They're my brothers. They're in your head. They're visitors. I really... they're visitors.
Then why did one of them open the door? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
It was no use. There was no time to lie to them. I felt helpless. Then I felt a hand on my shoulder and felt the tension in my body almost fade away. I turned my my head to see James smile at me before stepping in front of me.
We must apologize, ladies. We know this situation must be confusing for everyone. Let's take this to the dining room and we'll explain everything.
I stared at James wide-eyed. Was he going to tell them who they were? Everything seemed surreal. I'm gonna throw up. Stay and help around the house.
Are you sure?
Yep. James with the garden. Here we go. James and I headed out to the garden. It had been years since I had been in a small field. The gazebo was smaller than I remembered, but I had grown since I had last seen it. James rolled up his sleeves and took in a breath of air before sighing contently.
So, we need to cater to the plants and make sure there are no muddy spots in the grass. It may take a while. Are you sure you wish to help me and not the others?
I shook my head, rolling up my sleeves as well. I can handle it. I'd rather work outside anyway. James nodded with a smile before handing me a watering can, gesturing to a group of flowers by the side of the yard. I walked over and began to water the flowers. However, as silence took control of the air, I felt the need to start a conversation. Let's ask him a question. So, do you like flowers? What? I wanted to smack myself. That was a terrible conversation starter. I mentally smacked myself before hearing James chuckle softly. I turned to look at him as he nodded.
They have a wonderful aesthetic. Many people would think that flowers are simple and rather boring, but I've learned secrets about flowers.
Secret about flowers? What, like a special way to water them or something?
You could say that. There are right and wrong ways to water flowers.
Can you show me? James gave a small smirk before walking over and standing behind me. I instantly blushed as he brought his arms underneath mine, guiding my watering can. The water gently poured over the dirt, sinking into it and dissolving into the roots. However, my concentration on the water was broken by the sound of James' voice in my ear.
Flowers need to be cared for gently, like a fragile light. Too much power and they'll break, but too little and they'll wither and fade away. It's like caring for a pet or a loved one.
A loved one. For some reason, those 3 words echoed in my head. James continued to guide my watering can, using gentle hands to lead my arms and body. It was almost like a dance. Like a dance. Eventually, he let go and stepped away from me. I turned to him as he simply smiled at me before returning to his work. I felt my face with my hand, feeling the extreme warmth before shaking my head and continuing to water the remaining plants. Is that a bruise on my ankle? Oh yeah, I threw my phone down and it hit my ankle. The hour of the Okay. As ready as I'll ever be. Yes, I'm ready. Yes, I am ready. You bitch. It's been difficult being I wish it could... I'm doing my best.
I'm so sorry about your grand...
Thank you for your
Do
condolences.
you have college plans?
Shut up.
What do you think?
What do you think of the philanthropic policy that...
Do you think the company... Honey, I'd like to...
Simply nod to him.
I apologize if I made you...
Ow. Fuck off. square in the jaw, forcing him to let my hair go. As I fumbled back, Eric caught me in his arms, gently pulling me away from Alex. I purposely did that, by the way.
Sam. Come on!
Asswipe.
That's enough, Alex.
What?
The girl...
Not now!
There's...
Fuck you.
Good morning.
It's...
Pizza. Found James in the library, sitting in one of the... I'm so sorry, Katie. Sitting in one of the comfy
Oh, hello.
Hey, James, I got some lunch for you.
That is very kind of you. Thank you.
James took his food and sat back down, placing the book he was reading on the table in front of him and setting the dish on his lap.
I'm sorry. I should have asked you first before exploring the house and finding this room.
That's fine. Huh? Oh no, you're fine. Remember, you live here too, so any room besides mine is free to be in.
Still, you're the master of the house. I should have asked.
It's fine, really. James nodded at me with an understanding smile before eating his food. I followed along and ate with him, taking the open chair beside his. We ate in silence, listening to the ambiance in the room. Soon, however, I began to feel a little restless. Check out the book. I put my food down on the table and lifted the book to examine it. Love and Romance, a study of intimacy. I see that Easter egg, Michaela. Like she's ever gonna fucking watch this video. But yes, Love and Romance, a study of intimacy is another game of Michaela Laws. You guys should really go check it out. It does stand by its name though. I do have to warn you. James let out a small, nervous cough before he stopped eating and placed his food on the table.
Demons and humans are very different when it comes to affairs of the heart. I merely wanted to try learning a little more while I had the chance. I found that while I was looking around the room and had only just begun reading.
Love is different for demons? How so? James smiled before crossing his legs, getting comfy for the small lecture he was about to give. Fuck.
Love isn't just a human emotion, miss. Demons like us feel them too. In fact, incubi and succubi feel emotions the most because of our link to sexual energy. However, we don't really experience love. We know of lust and passion.
But passion drives love.
For humans, yes. For demons, it's our need to breed and increase the strength of our lineage as well as quells the hunger we have for sexual energy. It's very hard for us to develop feelings from passion, despite how easy it may logically seem.
You hunger for energy? I could tell I struck a nerve with James. As I mentioned the word hunger, his arm twitched, obviously wanting to do something other than remain on the armrest of his chair. He continued speaking regardless.
Sexual energy is our natural food source and is one of two ways to keep us alive. In the abyssal planes, there are many demons to feed off of who are always willing to give their energy up, so sexual hunger is never an issue. In the human world, however, we've come to realize that getting energy is a little more difficult.
Can't you just touch a human for their energy, like you all did with me?
That only gives us so much. A touch is merely a taste, while intimate sex is a banquet for us.
I guess that was true. Humans weren't all about sex, and were probably a lot more conservative than demons, at least. It would be hard to gain sexual energy from a human without doing something to them or catching them in the right mood.
This is why we have a mind-altering ability to convince humans to give in to their desires. It's not 100% effective, but it gives us a better possibility to get what we need.
What if you don't feed on sexual energy? What's the other way to stay alive?
Food, typically. However, we're weak without actual sexual energy. Without sexual energy, we become less than human. We have no power nor moral consciousness. We basically start to become unfriendly.
Are you hungry now? James didn't reply. He simply stared at me, unable to answer. However, I could tell that he was. He was clutching the armrests tightly, digging his fingers into the leather. I gently leaned close to him from my chair and reached to brush my fingers over his hand. Alright, that's where I'm going to stop today because I have a friend to talk to and a battery to charge. So if you guys like this video, like, subscribe, push notifications, comment down below. And subscribe now. Part 2, join the Wolfpack Life Social. Go see you guys next video. Bye now.